You know, that people will be killed in Kitezi just like that, just because the case is a...
You know, one thing, Paul, one thing, Paul, I gotta tell you is, if you look at, police is okay to give out every time a statement. Like right now, they've put out a statement. If you're calling in for accountability, they'll put out a statement. It's as easy as that. So literally, they are used to, we'll always put out a statement as long as that's what the world wants to hear, or the population wants to hear. So we cannot refute that that's what they're used to, or that's what they want to going forward. But that's not what we want. We want action. We want to see those people brought forward. So many things have been happening from the past. We've seen the Ritas in Kenya, the front centers, name all that group that have been killed. But have they brought those, the people that have committed those into custody? No. Have they brought them for us to see justice prevail? No. So basically, that's the police that we are dealing with. They're used to that. That's the game. They'll keep doing what they're doing. So action is always needed. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, for your point with regards to the impunity and lack of justice. So now that we know that it's only a few people that are perpetrating all these crimes against humanity, and now that we identify them, when we start protesting, we must knock on their doors, and we're not going to go with guns. As long as we are rallying together as Ugandans, like Dr. Stellani has just mentioned, that let every single Ugandan who have Ubuntu, who is Ubuntu, who cares for our rights? Because today is going to be Chagwa, and tomorrow is going to be Stellani. Maybe she's going to protest on the streets, like doing the street naked protest, and then the police is so scared of her, and then they will just shoot. And they said the only way to stop her, we're going to shoot her. And then, unluckily, maybe she might die as a result of that gunshot.
Yeah.
Or she's been shot on the head. So, we are saying that every single Ugandan life, Ugandan life, who's non-violent, who's not holding a gun to kill the police, who's not like waging war against the Ugandan army or UPDF, but they are Ugandans and they pay taxes, and they are the people who elected. Museveni claims that the people have elected him, that is a president. That the people who have elected Museveni, so-called a dictator, that they said, no, we don't want you anymore. And now, because they give you that power, they are the same people who are going to say, no, we don't want you anymore. And now we are coming on the streets, and we, as a voice of confidence, voice of lack of confidence, because the justice system has failed them, the police system has failed them, the executive, judiciary, the parliament have failed them.
Yeah.
So now they are coming to say, now look, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah.
We get out, we shall reorganize ourselves, and then you need to be out. So let's go and rally on the social media, rally here, our people. Nze kanogere musoga. Buli omu abantu boyovira oboli mu diaspora, Dr. Kawuma woli wena kunga abantu mu diaspora abakobe nti nti kujja okola. Tukujja ku storming offices edivesi zawo na kyemalira. Wano mfitu nte tulina wetu liwene. Mwabakulembeze mwena buli kasobola buli omu asobola okuba omukulembeze. We kasobola nanga kikulumye. Oboli bishop, oboli father, oboli mwalimu, oboli ani tandikira woli mukobe nti mbe ekimala. Tandikira makago geni in fact ndikuba leadership, structured leadership. Niteteetaaga fena abantu bakulembeze. Aye buli omu asobola ofuuka mukulembeze. So diaspora ekungana wano ku Twitter space. Aye wano tikimala tulibwa online tudda kuyogera kubogera na tulina okutamu actions on the ground. So mche tube tukole. Tusale wona kunga abantu abali ku ground ndio ekintu ekyatuse ku muna Uganda ngasira bunyanzi bwali tukugalagira. Oba balowoza. Ekintu ekyatuse ku muna Uganda bamuna byabufuzi. Oba mama bali kutunda maidoge bamukuba esasi ngolokubanga bali esasi eliteetaagisa kufuluma awutu betwetaagisa esasi kufulumizibwa ayi bafulumiriza esasi bamukuba buti tuko bantu betukoye edoge eyo tukoyo twitira abantu baife Museveni government kyo muveeku tutandikira webuli n'aba babemereza abazungu tujje kuligida betukobe nti enough is enough. We cannot take this anymore. Tujja avano paka ngamulekera okulagana omusado amuna Uganda mwena abali ground tujja kuvano paka nga Museveni avire kuntebe. Museveni ekizibu kya Uganda kubanga Museveni akola ebintu ayi taliyenka. Museveni n'abantu amuyamba ku bitipe gano kasotekero jole ayingire muntu kachuka yabana Uganda ngabenengana benda chuka ngayo labalwanisa ngote girantu emulabi wabana Uganda abe tujire tubakobe mutuvire abakulembeza abiyogeze ebiri mikasa bayida kumikolo bayida kola campaign tukobe vayo tuvire ayi tunotandika bwanu wano kukinecha ekibire ku mwana Uganda kyagulani tukobe nti enough is enough tupenda kuira muntu akubiba masasi amalibe ko idembe buli omwana na freedom ye emovinga kasaba tali kozinga obuzibu nti ali kumala kubana Uganda bayine emirembe ali tukaina abantu benjoying impunity mbubo bonkana abasobola okubanga bemera ku street ba blocking enjira bakola appreciation zinga police beri kukireminga anti kasaba bayo niche biyogeza nti bo balina balina debate mulo kubanga ni CGF mulo kubanga ni mwana wa gundi mbubo balina edogo eri kolebyo ngate bakumba mu defe edomu wo musolo mbe tukubante enough is enough. No more situation like that.
Yeah, enough is enough. Thank you so much, Paul. And thanks so much, Okunga Murulimi, role leader I'm more comfortable with. Comrades, let's keep pushing.
Thank you.
Let's keep going. Helen, you're next. And then from you, I'll have stop corruption in that order. Comrades, we have so many requests. So once you're done speaking, just drop off your microphone so that we have others coming. Thank you so much. Helen.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Marvin, Dr. Kauma, for organizing this space. It is sad that we are here for the same reasons as we've been here for the longest. But today's incident, we should learn from it. And for me, it shouldn't be treated as business as usual. It is not. It is not. Regardless of our political affiliations, regardless of who Bobi Wine is, they have shot at a leader, an opposition leader. If they can do that to Bobi Wine, then who is safe? And, today I feel like we should, I would like to commend Dr. Stella's submission. We should capitalize on this. This is a good space for us to work as one, to unite and work for the same cause. We all know what our problem is. Our problem is not any one individual. Our problem is not the Anitas. The problem is the Museveni. And today, for me, I would like to ask our leaders, not even leaders in particular, because at this space, everyone that has attended this space, you can offer leadership, actually, because if we depend on one leader or another, we might not be able to achieve. We might miss out on this opportunity. It is sad, but also it can work as an opportunity for us to take down the Museveni's regime. There is always a beginning and an end to something. We shouldn't be scared. We shouldn't, we shouldn't feel like we can't do it. We can do better. We can do more than we think that we can, regardless of our political affiliations. Ugandans, fellow Ugandans, let us unite. Let us unite against this senseless violence perpetrated by the Museveni's regime. Let today's Bobi Wine shooting act as a stark reminder of brutality. We've been enduring, for so long. It has been going on for so long, and we keep saying the same things over and over. Ugandans are not ignorant. Ugandans know what to do. We all know what to do. But our problem is action. Let us act on this. Let us use this as an opportunity to motivate masses, to encourage masses to join this. Let this be a very big demonstration. You all remember the Black November. We all, many people stood up against that. We can double the effort as, the same way we did on the Black November. So, comrades, fellow Ugandans, let us put aside our differences. Sorry, I'm on the road. Let us put aside our differences and stand against this oppression. Let us stand against this oppression. And on today's space, I would like to request, hopefully, Dr. Kauma and Comrade Marvin are taking down the contacts of people that are willing to offer leadership, because I think the following days from today, we need to start organizing and we need to unite and join forces. Let us protest this. It's not about Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine's shooting represents your shooting. It represents any other Ugandan's shooting. It speaks volumes. It's not about Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine is a leader. He represents many. So that's not Bobi Wine. Let us not look at it as a Bobi Wine thing. It's a Ugandan. It has happened to a fellow Ugandan. So today, please, on this space, if you have an idea, what can we do starting tomorrow? What can we do? What message should we put on our placards? You don't have to wait for masses to protest this. Get your placard, write your message on. Get someone to film it, post it. Let all of us do what we can from wherever we are. Let us post these spaces. Let us share the message. And let us continue calling for peaceful demonstrations. But I am hoping that we are not going to leave this space and forget about this. Let us continue working. Hopefully we are going to get to attend more spaces like this. But I am desperate for action. I am desperate to see comrades that are ready to offer leadership. I am desperate to hear more guidance on what should be done, following this incident. Let us forget about the rest of the stories, the past. Let us focus on this one and how we can capitalize on it. Please share ideas. Please join people you think that can work with you to push this forward. Let us build a strong voice. Let us speak out. Let us, like Madame Stella has said, let us counter-argue the propaganda. Let us post, let us tweet, or let us post on Facebook, wherever you can. And also let us protest from wherever we are. Let us respond. Thank you very much, and thank you to everyone that has attended this. Please continue attending such spaces, and thank you for loving your country. May God bless you, and may God bless Uganda.
Thank you so much, Nandaula. Much appreciate your views and your suggestions. Yeah, comrades, we have so many hands hanging there. We'll be requesting, we'll be giving you those requests as we get more space. It can only take up to 8. I'm gonna have Stop Corruption, and I'm gonna have the boss lady. But before that, Doctor, would you come in a little bit? Dr.
Marvin, I think let's give opportunity for other members to contribute. I'll come in towards the end so we'll get to hear from some of the other participants. Thank you.
Sounds good, sir. All right. Let's have Stop Corruption and then the boss lady. Stop Corruption, the microphone is yours. The boss lady, if you can hear me, you can always unmute yourself and give us your submission. Yeah, thank you.
Museveni mukyano baganda bange. I'm going to use two languages, both English and Luganda, because I'm comfortable talking that way.
No worries. Fine.
Ekituusewo olwaleero sikyassanyiwadde balinganga abagezaako okutukyokooza okulaba nti kiki tusobola okukolawo era tusobola kunyiiga kyenkana ki. Naye nga nze kyembadde nsaba mbaddeko ku spaces endala nnyingi nga sinnatuuka wano. Kyembadde nsaba kye tuba tusookerako kusigala nga tuli bakkakkamu, because bwe tunaasalirawo mu busungu tuyinza tokola ensobi eyinza otuviiramu akabasa. Nasanyukidde nnyo ekikolwa ekyeggulo abawala we baavuddeyo ne bagenda ku street nga balaga obutali bumativu mu ngeri gye baayolesezaamu obutali bumativu bwe kubanga we tutuuse Uganda yatwambulako eddembe lyaffe ba president bannakyemalira ne batuggyako buli kimu, even we are not allowed to say anything or to speak up. Nze ne nsaba bwe tutaaveeyo bino bwe tugamba nti ne tudda mu emotions ne tugamba nti kyo kituuse wate ne tudda just mu bigambo kibeera tekikola. Bwe tutaaveeyo ne tuyimirira ku magulu gaffe abiri okugeza nga abawala we baakoze kyansanyusiza ne kimpa ekirowoozo mu bulamu bwange. If we can do another attack ne tukikola like in the middle of the night ne twesiiga oyiro omubiri bagukwatako guseerera ogenda kunzijawa ne tuddamu ne tubalumba okulaga obutali bumativu bwaffe kibeera kitukolera. Naye gye tukoma okusirika bano abantu bagenda kututtira abantu baffe nga bagamba tetulina kye tusobola kukolawo. Kye bakoze leero president bakikoze just kututeekamu fiya nti olaba ne president bamukuba atolofe. Gavumenti ya Museveni etujoza ekimala etulinyiridde eddembe lyaffe yessaawa twekembe twerwanirire. Nze nga nze omuntu ndi ready to risk my life for a better future tomorrow. Naye tunaddaano mu kusirika tugambe nti ebiki okutiitira kubanga manyi some of people are going to say they can't risk their life kigasa ki biki weebityo, but at the end of the day n'abaana baffe bagenda kukulira Uganda, bagenda kuyita mu mbeera ey'okusoomoozebwa. Bwe tutaaveeyo okutereeza buli kimu ng'obudde bukyali. Simanyi oba mujjukira okwekalakaasa okwaliwo nga bagaanye Kabaka okugenda e Bugerere. By that time I was in P6. Naye kyankwatako nnyo if we do like how we tuddamu ne tukola engeri abantu abo gye bastrategizing okutuusa nga gavumenti bagitadde ku nninga nekkiriza, ndowooza we can bring change. Bino bye tunaakoma okutya nti gavumenti egenda tukuba amasasi, egenda tukola biki, egenda tusiba, so tulina kye tugenda kukyusa. Kisooka abasajja babba eggwanga lyaffe balimazeewo, kati bali kunyuunyuuta buli kasembayo okutulekera ddala wansi nga tetukyasobola kulwana. Tunaagenda okuzuukuka ng'obudde bugenze. So nze baganda bange, mikwano gyange nga Comrade Nandabula waagambye, asobola okuwandiika ekipande kiwandiiko kitimbe ku social media. Tumanyi abamu ku ffe tetuli mu Uganda abasobola okwekalakasiza yonna gye tuli. Bannange tweveemu ffenna we tuli yonna gye tuli tulaga obutali bumativu bwaffe y'engeri gye tugenda okulinnya ku nnakyemalira. Byebyo ebigambo byange musiibe bulungi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the lady boss. Yes, and thanks for that comment. Let me see. We're going to have Godfrey, then Mugisha, I think, or Mugisha. And then in that order, we'll have Prince Paul, then Emmanuel. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Stop corruption. I've given you an opportunity, but I think you missed you come after Godfrey, if that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Marvin, and everyone on the space. I'll be brief because most of the things have been spoken, and I agree with most of the stuff, but we need to take action. Although some of us in the diaspora can only do protests and spaces like this, but we need action on the ground. I know I was there, actually. I had gone on holiday for the Kayunga protests, and I was going to Kayunga. It would be the next day when the riots started. But that was almost going to take down the government. If only people had persisted, yeah? we wouldn't be where we are now. But we are where we are, and we need to take action 360 degrees. Those on the ground, and those of us in the diaspora, who on the protest front, please attend the protest, whoever is organizing it. And I'm in the UK. I booked my holiday as I normally do. We are going on protest on Friday, and then we see what other protests are going to be. If I need to claim sick and go on another protest, I will go. Because this is intended, it wasn't an accident, because there didn't need to be security forces following Kyagulanyi when he's peacefully minding his business. He's in Uganda. He's going to see his friends, his colleagues. So why go with tear gas, go with guns? Yeah, they went there ready for violence. Yeah, and at some point, even if we don't agree with the virus, we might have to answer them with violence. When I mean violence, yeah, we go on the protest, they start shooting that, and then we cause commotion, we burn buildings. That's the least we can do. I'm not saying we should resort to guns. No, we are not going that way. But self-defense means if we take down the economy, because it's not functioning anyway, we lose nothing. Yeah? So everyone is in that same kind of problem now where economy is not for the citizens. Yeah. So taking it down is no big deal. Even if our kids don't go to school, so be it. Yeah? That's the least we can do to get our country back. I like the space, the discussions. Let other people continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. We appreciate. And I'm going to have Stop Corruption and then Mugisa next, I think, in that order. Stop Corruption.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
I've tried several times, so I'm happy that you can hear me now. Thank you, Mr. Daniel, and the rest of Patrick Ugandans who are here. And I'll start by saying that there are some people in our lives that are significant. There are significant people in Uganda and in our lives that if you touch them, it means that you've touched our nerves. And it's well known for us to note that these people, Museveni and his goons, are sending a strong message. And you have to take this opportunity to answer them. That, yeah, we have received your message, but it will not go unanswered. Okay? We must give a strong response to that. And so, just like any other caring Ugandans, we are afraid, but courageous. We are only afraid that if a personal president, His Excellency Bobi Wine, can face the camera to talk about the violence against them. And so this is urgent, and where we are reaching right now as a country, it's a matter of survival, it's a matter of life and death, and you must rise up or you are dying. Okay? This is a sinking boat, and regardless of where you are, whether you're on the second level or whether you're on the top level of the sinking boat, it doesn't. Don't mind, okay? Don't mind, okay? And so, therefore, it is important for us to coordinate our activities in resistance. And nobody should come here and tell you that you can do nothing in the face of injustice, dictatorship, and oppression. Okay? When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. And so we have more Ugandans in Uganda than we have in the diaspora. And diaspora activities must be in coordination with Ugandan activities to ensure that we cause impact on the ground. Because we are demonstrating for Uganda, whether in Qatar, whether in Canada, whether in the United States, you are demonstrating because of the violence, because of corruption, because of the dictatorship that is happening in our country, and we must not let. And I take this opportunity also to call upon different groups, for example, religious leaders who have been silent from the beginning, even to rise up. I call upon the doctors and respective people, including teachers and others, in all the capacities. I call upon the lawyers, okay? Your silence is making a lot of noise. And such a significant, actually, they send a message that actually, if you don't rise up now, okay, we shall be dying. And actually, you'll die, regardless of where you and how you'll die. Okay? But how are you going to die? Are you going to die helpless death? Okay? Are you going to die of a gunbreath when you are just moving on the street? Around the emergency teams, it means that these people came not to save the people, but to keep them away from violence or containing them. And so, this is Uganda, and this is where we are. This is the law we have reached, whereby our people that are inspiration, our leaders can be mocked in a broad daylight, and we sit here back, relax, keep quiet, and take things for granted. And so the next day you hear about 100 Ugandans shot, killed. Nothing has been done, no accountability. And so, in the presence of natural sense, we should understand for Ugandans that this is a point of break-even, and it's a point of action. Okay, no more good speeches, no more prayers, because prayers are not enough. And if you are silent in the times of injustice and oppression, you have chosen. If you are neutral in the times of injustice, oppression, and dictatorship, you have literally chosen the side of the oppressor. And then comes a time when silence is betrayal. That's Martin Luther King Jr. And so, right now, everybody in your capacity should raise their voice. And actually, I consider even putting placard on social media as doing something that is okay. That is okay. That is a startup. Okay, that is just to start with. It's not enough. Okay, it's not enough. We must do something, and actively, and we must mobilize Ugandans. And actually, if right now you are not for this cause, if you are not against dictatorship, if you are not against corruption, and you have no problem with this current regime, you have publicly declared yourself and counted yourself as one of the oppressors, okay? And today we have three people. We have the oppressors, we have the oppressed, and we have the puppet. Okay, you either fall in that category. There's nothing like I don't care about politics, okay? If you don't take an interest in the politics as it is now, it doesn't mean that the politics will not take an interest in you, because it has already taken an interest in you. Okay? And many things are happening in our country, in our state, and we are keeping quiet, and we pretend that we have allies, we have strong people, we have, do we have allies? I doubt if we have. But if we have, and you're one of them, you who is here, count yourself on the front line. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stop Corruption. If somebody's out there and they think that whatever that is going on in the country doesn't bother them or affect them, I think they are wrong. Because at the end of the day, you're going to take your car to the mechanics if the bad road did injure or damage your car. If you're sick, that is going to find you somewhere. The police guy who's going to stop you and you give him that 10,000 or 5,000 is 100% the government that has pushed that policeman to request for that money. So, comrades, don't sit back and relax. Let's counter what we can encounter at this point. Let's not take things for granted. Sit back. Even those that say they're elite, but guess what? There are no jobs. You have to bribe to get a job, a contract. You have to bribe to get a contract. That is almost Museveni's system. At the end of the day, you must belong somewhere to be given employment within the country. So don't say, oh, I'll go to school, I'll get educated, and this doesn't bother me. The person that we have to fight is Museveni, and this is the time. Yeah, I think I saw Alex Weiss, so if you're on, please let me know. There are so many people. I saw Sylvia Namtiaba on the youth mobilized in the central region. If we could get somebody from Kampala also to update us, that would be good on the status of what's going on right now, the status of the president. It will be really good as we continue. Yes, I'm going to have Mukisa and then Prince Paul, and yeah, we'll be in that order. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Marvin, Daniel, and everyone who is here today. For me, I will put it like this. When people try, naluza kumunyo, you people, if we just keep quiet and speak with a lot of energy, they already know that we can speak, we can be on spaces, we can Facebook, we can be everywhere. They know this. If they try us, you never know what may happen next. You're seeing the statements that are coming in from police with clear videos. You're seeing everything like what can really mean the word impunity of the highest order. You're seeing regime apologists, what they are doing and how everything is. You're seeing how they have gone ahead to surround in Zambia hospital. Someone's, stabbing and goes for the first aid and is referred to in Zambia. Really, it's something that is hilarious when someone can really believe such crap. Uganda is on a time bomb as we speak right now. Chinatown was introduced. People are up and down. Traders are not having anything, in their pockets. Someone said, I will say one of the quote of my good sheikh, Muzata Bate said, there was a lion, there was a group of animals and there was a lion. And then one animal connived with the lion. Every time they could bring, you could say, let's go. They eat one animal. Until when all the animals were done and the lion wanted to eat. In the long run, even that animal was eaten. They came for Kiza Besije. Mm-hmm. They came for the March to Parliament girls. Mm-hmm. They came for different people. Mm-hmm. They have come for our president, Chagulanyi Sentam, His Excellency. Should we leave it to be the same status quo? The issue of being there and just keeping quiet, we shouldn't allow such issues to prevail in a country that is in a rich state. You all know that they had started their words of terror attacks. Yesterday, I think there was a meeting of the NATO people and the UN in Entebbe. You see that there are clear plans that are being laid, but we are just numb, keeping quiet, looking on, and waiting for events to unfold, and we come and make spaces and speak. I believe we should learn from the previous actions and learn to be strategic in how we act. We should understand that we are Ugandans. What do we want that should make us more angry? What do we want that would make us know that this is the right time? Some people will say, the Ninze president, Ayogere, what do you want him to speak? Because he always says a statement of Ebikolwa. He talks about Ebikolwa. Every time he speaks about Ebikolwa. And we remain dumb and numb. What they have done to him today should create 1 million Chagulanyis, or should awaken 1 million Chagulanyis that are living within our hearts. Uganda is on a time bomb. Today they closed Nile Avenue, they closed the Parliamentary Avenue, just because 3 brave women, 3 brave girls went on to demonstrate. How about when we awaken the spirits? 2026 is not very far. These people have a clear plan. If you're not seeing it, go back and read very well the way they are doing their thing, the legislations, the impunity in Parliament and everywhere. You can read through the lines and understand that there are clear things that are happening with clear intent. We as Ugandans, if we don't understand and read through the lines and know when to act and how to act, I'm telling you, we shall remain in the gutters of crying foul, in the gutters of bringing rage on our phones, in the gutters of breaking our phones and laptops. But when we can do something, these people in the security forces, we should understand when and how to act. Do you want to wait until next year? Next year is soon. Next year it means going into campaigns. Do we want to wait until campaigns and see blood? For God and my country, I beg to submit and stop from there. And I urge you to stand up as Ugandans on behalf of Europe. You will allow me to submit like that and tell you that as diaspora, we are together. We should do our chain. Wherever you are, Europe, USA, we should strengthen our chain, put aside our inside issues, and understand that Uganda, our country, our president is being put on a table, and these people are ready to feast on us. We should understand when, how, and where to act from, how to support our brothers back on ground in Uganda, as early as tomorrow, to show that we are not going to tolerate such impunity. Ihanga lyono mushiza remise abantu bari kubi enjara nenjara amarwaro tugari mumbazi baenda kuita president witu bajino bagambisi babusha president bamtera baza kumtera bullets omukuguru kweye ihanga likafakare itobanyankore nibaturabya kubi nitwe warga yo kugamba cyaguranye bakurabya kubi cyoka nyenda kubagambira itwe nkabanyankore turi ready kwemerera nihanga abari ku rugomo east abari ku rugomo west abari ku rugomo central cyaguranye nuko kabiri tikitu tuine kugurugayo tukakora statement ababashija bakagihurira ngo abanyayuganda bakora statement. We need to make a statement that is bold and strong as early as tomorrow, as early as now. Thank you. Back to you, the host.
Thank you so much, Gisa. People power, our power, and our power, people power. Thank you so much for that great submission. Let's keep encouraging one another. Let's keep fighting together. As he clearly stated, we are one Uganda. Let's fight together as a team. Principal, you're next. And after Principal, we'll have Jesse, then Joyce, in that order. Thank you. Keep requesting the microphone. We have a few slots, but whichever slot that is open, I'll keep admitting people. Thank you.
A very good afternoon. Very good afternoon to everyone, or very good evening to everyone and listeners. And I would like to ask you, what are we waiting as Ugandan?
Did we lose you? I'm sorry, I think we lost him. Principal. I'm going to have Jesse come in. I think Prince Paul has had interruption. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, I wanted to talk about the need for anger right now. I see and hear people saying, be calm, be mattemongeza busungu, but I think we're at that point where our anger needs to be shown. We cannot keep being very tolerant to these guys. The only reason drones are still picking people right now is because we are tolerant of the drones. If we woke up and burnt 8 of them, I don't think any other drone will be out there picking people. So, is this nonsense? Yetugumikiriza, netwefuula abali non-violent, abali peaceful, abali chi, and we are paying for it. And we continue to pay for it until we learn to take back in equal measure the state responsibilities, the state's actions. We also show them, you are not as untouchable as you think you are. Because what is this? How do you shoot at someone? I also saw other people getting shot. I think it was deliberate, probably geared at seeing what people are going to do. So people should also know that revolutionary leaders are very important people. Patrice Lumumba was assassinated. Look where Congo is. Thomas Sankara was assassinated. Look where Burkina Faso is. So as a people, we need to know that the lives of our revolutionary leaders really matter. So do the lives of everyone involved in this struggle. If they take out a piece and we underestimate the power of that piece on this revolutionary chessboard, we are going to suffer. So we know kuzayo in Kenya, Munago Kambwe, do not hesitate, do not be always showing tolerance at what end? Yes, that's my submission.
Thank you so much. I think I'm having issues. Whether it was your microphone that was so low, but yeah, I couldn't hear you. But we're gonna have Dr. Moore and then Jenny Kwaje in that order. If you can hear me.
Marvin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I think the previous speaker had issues with their microphone.
Me, I don't know if we have her.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. It is absurd for whatever happened today. The president had a private visit to one of our lawyers, and that is Judge Musisi. It was merely a private visit with a few of members from the secretariat and a few of the foot soldiers. What exactly happened? The police started shooting even before the president came out of the house. It was shooting at the people that had come to see the president. As you know, we have a president that is loved by very many Ugandans. So when they got to know that the president is in the area, he decided to come and check on him, to come and see him. So the police started shooting to the people even before the president comes out. And when the president is alerted that the police is shooting at the people with different projectiles, tear gas canisters, he comes out to engage them and ask them, you guys, why are you shooting my people? The president gets shot at exactly 5:30 p.m. The police comes out at 8. That is 2 hours and a half later with a statement to tell us how he stumbled. I've just posted a video of how the president was shot at. If you're keen to see, it was a clear attack on the president. But what gives them the liberty to go ahead and do this? It is because they know nobody is going to question them. Not anyone in the government will question them. Nobody is going to be held accountable. See what happened to Kasire Ashraf, the guy that shot him. We had the whole documentary showing who shot Ashraf. Was the person held accountable? No. So this is the kind of country we live in. At the end of the day, it is a question, it is a leadership question that has to be solved. An update from the president. The president got projectiles like fragments from the tear gas canister that hit his head. He will have to go for a surgery so that the fragments are removed. He is alive. That is the most important thing. He is alive, though in pain. To Ugandans out there, it is on us. It is on us. We should not just talk about these things. We should organize. We should organize. We should organize. The truth is the time is going to come where Ugandans are going to come together as a peace and raise. Thank you, Ashraf. I want to thank, Navin and Daniel for the good work you're doing with the people in the diaspora. We are so appreciative. Ugandans back home, it's going to take you, it's going to take your brother, it's going to take you to do what you have to do in your little capacity. But you have to do something. When you wake up, do something. When you're eating food, do something. When you're hearing this, do something. Whatever comes your way, you must do something. Thank you, Marvin.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to have Jamie Kwaje and then next.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Marvin. Thank you, Doctor, for hosting this space. Good evening, comrades. It's a very sad evening that the president-elect by the Ugandans in the previous election is hospitalized. You know, the diasporians are always so much disappointed and so much ignited because you know how systems work and you've experienced better. That's why when such things happen, you feel the pain, I think, a million times than the people back home because it's the new normal. 7 wakes up in the morning, shoots a few people on the streets. We go back and sleep. The next day, they fail to save people in Chitezi. People die screaming, calling others outside for help. And then the next day we go sleep. The next day he grabs Achireo, takes him, aligns him before the military court, and everything is normal. The reason as to why we spend the time, we spend the little resources that we earn, it's because we know what we deserve as Ugandans. Mostly those who have been outside of Uganda, even though you've been to Kenya, you can definitely see that we deserve much more bigger things as blessed as Uganda is. If you look at how the president was shot, and if you listen critically, because I've watched that video over countless times, you hear the commanders saying one thing, shoot. I mean, they're not saying to shoot at cows. They're not saying to shoot at houses, buildings around. They're not saying shooting at cars, but they're giving one order, shoot. This means they have orders from above to shoot at Ugandans, to shoot at anyone. Because you're giving random orders to have people shot at randomly. And it's with impunity that you cannot think that next day you have to account to anyone or before any court of judicature about something that you've done. This is a big test to those Ugandans who are yearning for change. This is a big test. Because this is like throwing a stone in a forest and you see what comes out. We've spoken. I've spoken since 2008. It's 18. I've been on the media speaking. Dr. Kauma has spoken. Comrade Hunter has spoken. Justice Hunter. Dr. Nyanza has spoken. Comrade Marvin has spoken. Dr. Morgan has spoken. And millions of us have spoken. Joel Singh has spoken. Voice from Fumbira has spoken. I feel like sometimes I just look at things I don't want to speak and don't want to speak about them because we've seriously spoken enough. We need to get back on the drawing table. The reason that's why Museveni is doing this is not displaying strength. All Ugandans who stay in America and UK and all these powerful countries, the first world powerful countries, they have the biggest state security in the world. They are the most powerful with missiles, with nuclear powers. But you don't see guns on the streets. Guns on the streets don't show that you have security, that you're so tight, that you're so strict, you can take down everything. No. Museveni parading guns on the streets and on every block of any building in Kampala shows that he's weakened, shows that he's in panic, shows that he's in fear. And this is a very beautiful, opportune moment. That's why President Chagwanya has always been telling us that, please, this is not a 2026 affairs. Why? Because the moment you tell Ugandans that this is 2026 affairs, they'll switch off and wait for 2025 in campaigns. Then they start resuming like how it has been in the past. Museveni rigs the election, he deploys all over the country. Then we know, obviously, in our brains, we know that next time, 2016, we shall wait. And let's wait for 2012, 2011. Let's wait for 2006 elections as he continues rigging. But the fact that President Chagwanya has told you before how dictators rise and fall and in what periods they have most likely fallen, this has kept Museveni on his toes. We're going to be speaking here. We're going to host so many spaces. We're going to go Facebook. We're going to go TikTok Live, so many things. We're going to tweet. But we need to go back on the drawing board. Joel has spoken so many beautiful abbreviations, idioms, poet, everything. I mean, I hear a new word whenever Joel is speaking. Our leader of opposition. But bro, we need to get back to the drawing board. I sometimes tell people that I'm from Uganda. Because the next thing he will ask you, who's the president? Is Museveni. It's been there for how many years? 40 years. How many millions of people are you? We are 45 million. You look like an idiot. You obviously look like an idiot. Burkina Faso has 11 million young people. They stood up against Blaise Compaoré and overthrew him. Museveni came when we were 15 million, 13, 14 million. We're now 45. So we have 20 million young people who are below the age of 35. and we can't stand up and fight for our own country. It is so sad. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening should be a turning point in the politics of Uganda, in the democracy of Uganda. Because this is arrogancy, this is pride, this is impunity that they are displaying of the highest order. If you go to the parliament, you have a king queen there. If you go to the judiciary, they recommend laws and reforms that are not being implemented. If you go to the executive, it is dead. What else are we left for as Ugandans? We shall speak this beautiful English. We hear from each other. We say hi to comrades. We hear comrades in Japan, North Korea, where, UK, Uganda, Sudan. We shall listen to ourselves on these spaces. But until when? Until President Kyagulanyi is killed? Because that's what Museveni is targeting. And I've spoken about this before, like 2 years ago. I was on a platform and I told Ugandans that Museveni can wake up in the morning, take down our president, and he fights with us for 3 months to put us back in the house. And most of the Baganda here always know that Kabaka Faba ino Mubanira. That's the thing I've heard from Baganda a million times. So it's us who are supposed to fight for our leader, for our president. And you find an idiot saying, Kyagulanyi agende, atusoke yo mas. Are you okay? No leader is broke. No any political leader is broke anywhere in the world. Go to Malema. Go to our president himself. Go to Ruto when he was still opposing to getting government. Go to Odinga himself. These are wealthy men who can sustain their life well and live the best of their life. But man, you just can't find it. Ugandans, I think we need to get back to the drawing board. We need to get back to the drawing board. And this evening should be a reflection of what a country we need in 40 years, 30 years from now. Because we're all not going to be here. The people who changed term limits, I think it's only Moses Ali who is still in parliament. They're all dead. That was 2005. They are dead. They left us a demon. They are dead. They left us under the armpits of dictatorship. They were given 5 million each. They changed term limits. They scrapped off term limits, and they are dead. Are you going to be here 40 years from now? Are you going to be here 60 years from now? Ugandans, if you're not on the dining table, then you're on the menu. Thank you so much. I yield back to you, Comrade Marvin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamil Kwaje. That's the Boston spokesperson for the chapter of Boston. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your wisdom and encouraging words. Yes, I'm going to have Rebecca and then Nakarura and then Mimi. Thank you. In that order.
Hi, thank you so much. So when this whole incident happened today, right, my heart skipped a bit, right? The first thing was that, the president has been shot. Okay, Bobi Wine has been shot. And my heart skipped a bit. And what went through my mind at that point, which definitely could be different for other people, what went through my mind was that this is impossible. This cannot happen at this particular time. I said, my hope will not be taken away from me, right? And I don't know if any of you guys has had a good thing in your life that you fought for, right? Even when you know you don't have the energy to fight, but you know there is this good thing in your life that you don't want to let go of. For me, that is Bobi Wine, right? And as a young person, the things I have gone through, and other people can also share as well, it has been a long time of being hopeless. Just people coming up to leadership and I failed to find somebody that I can stand with, right? And then this specific incident happened. And I'm like, no, this is impossible. You can't take my hope away from me. So for people who don't want to probably protest or people who don't want to get involved in the struggle, I understand it is scary, right? But then we have those people who are always willing to fight for us. You look at Bobi Wine, you look at Dr. Besigye, even Dr. Stella Nyanzi. Those are people, regardless of whatever it is, they will fight. They will fight. They're always ready to fight for Ugandans. It is such people that we need to hold on to. Because we know this government is very intentional with taking our hope from us. So when we have that little hope remaining, we have to hold on to it. They don't like us. They don't want the best for us. At all. The state has made an enemy out of its citizens. So everything they do is just to keep us hopeless. Hopeless completely. So when there are few people amongst us who are willing to take it up, it's important for us to protect them. Very, very important. So this unity we have amongst us, we need to address it very, very fast. I even feel like there is no time anymore. For me, there are times when Dr. Stella Nyanzi posts something on Twitter, and I'll probably disagree. But if there is one thing that I remain with, I'm always like, I know she is one of those people who will fight for Ugandans. She is one of them. Regardless of any conflict, nothing is going to distract her from doing the work of fighting for Ugandans. She will go up on that front line. Ajagamba Manichi, again, Bosi Jetwade Tuina, Jiteke aside. I have work to do on the front line. People like Dr. Besige do that. People like Bobi Wine do that. And those are the people we need to start protecting. We need to emulate them more. And I'm sure even Dr. Selanyazi has to probably say, you know what? We may have disagreed, but you know what? I'm fighting because I don't want you to go through what I went through. These people have no regard for human life. I would rather lose my life before you, a young person, loses yours. Because you need to experience the beauty in Uganda before you die. But then going back to that, this current government also knows that if they take hope from us right now, we're going to be in a disorganized state. So we have to keep organizing ourselves. Because once that gap is created, God forbid we lost Bobi Wine. If that gap is created, we know it's going to be a state of confusion within the opposition. And you know what that means at that point, because clearly NRM is organized on their end as long as the president is still alive. That situation in opposition is going to be a total mess, which is definitely going to mean that is going to be another 5 years of destruction on Ugandans. So we need to keep organizing ourselves. We need to call opposition on the table very fast. That we don't have time anymore for you to disagree. We need to move immediately. We need to. If it means sitting them down, we have to. That, okay, you have the best strategy, but how can we make sure it's this person that we put on the ballot? Because this is the best person to get this person out. We have sane leaders. Dr. Moto is a very sane man. Dr. Besige, very sane man. These people, I believe, are ready to have this conversation. But it's better we have this conversation before it's too late. Because it would become late. But we don't have to get that. We need to unite immediately. We need to. And it goes back to what Dr. Stella said. We need leadership. The one thing we need leadership amongst us. We need to know what you're going to do, who is going to do this, whatever it is. We need to know how we are moving forward. We're not going to wait for 2025 or 2026. No, we do not have time. These people are going to kill us even before we reach that ballot. So we need to be ready. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm going to have Nakarura and then Mimi next. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First of all, receive my greetings from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm here to be with the citizens of Uganda and protest and rebuke this thing that is happening in East Africa, because actually we all can see what is happening in Kenya, what is happening in Tanzania, what is happening in Nigeria also, and Zimbabwe. So I'm calling on the African youth to wake up, unite, and fight for your future and the future of your children. You must protect the freedom of speech, freedom of expressing dissatisfaction or oppression. You must understand that a fight for your freedom and a fight for the future of you and your children is a fight for human rights. Everybody should be allowed in Africa or in the world to express themselves without being shot, without being abducted, without being silenced through fear and intimidation, because we have a right to live and thrive in Africa. This is our motherland, and I'm calling on the African youth to understand that we only have ourselves. Nobody is coming to save us. We need to unite. We need to put our differences aside. We can learn from each other without any fear. We need to move freely in our lands, and we need to put people in leadership who have the best interest of the citizens of our respective countries and the best interest of the African people at large. So I don't want to talk more, because I just wanted to pass this message that African youth, it is time to unite. It is time to learn from each other. It's time to exchange notes. We are fighting the same things you're protesting against. We are fighting the same thing. We are relentless, and we are going to do whatever it takes to see that the future and the future of our children and our future is safe. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we shall be using the same order. I think, Mimi, you're next. And then we'll have Richard and then Joyce. Thank you. In that order.
Thank you so much. Was gathered regarding this sad moment of this dictator attacking us, as everybody has said, that any one of us is attacked means that all of us. So then I'm going to say just because I know you have read some few people who have discussed something, and if I repeat anything, just my apologies in advance. I think that right now, I believe and I think that the most important action we should really take on top of making sure we are posting and everything is finding ways of getting His Excellency out of the country, because you and I know that when these people get ashamed, they are going to whisk him out and to somewhere where we don't know, and we want to know exactly what happened to him. So I'm thinking we should also have a game plan of having him treated somewhere, and not to disregard the few hospitals that have the treatment, but it's not safe out there for sure. It won't be safe for him. And when they start, how they can come and, chase away everybody and tear gas everybody who come to try to visit him, purporting that they are trying to secure him, but we won't know what will happen to him when he's in different hands. So I'm thinking we have to think about that. And then, like everybody said, of course, it's that treating and, making sure that, and, protesting and picking up phones. I know sometimes also, for those people who have access to people, those people in the different countries where we are, picking up the phones and, continuing to post and tweet. But I think also one of the most important things our leaders we should, we should put in mind is making sure that His Excellency is out of the country. And then the other thing is also to waken up. Somebody said about sometimes we miss these opportunities. This is a very good opportunity to wake up the country again. I know we've done it again and we shouldn't get tired. So it's important we wake up the country again wherever we are. MPs, please, in the parliament, bring up this bill. Because in honesty, if somebody is not doing anything like calling a lorry and people are just gathering to greet him, why would they do tear gases? These are some of the things that we are going to push and ask you MPs to bring on the table, to bring something before whatever, the table, back in our mind, but in our mind, probably the government won't do anything or they won't budge or something, but we have to do something put pressure everywhere where this pressure needs to be put. And then lastly, another look, is to, that's it for now. I forgot what I got to say, but importantly is putting His Excellency out of the country. I think that's just in preparation, because you never know what these people can do. And then, in fact, I just remembered, these people are trying out all these things to test the waters. They have a lot of equipment that they want to test on Ugandans, and they are looking for that day when they are going to test. So we have to be aware. And it's not going to be only His Excellency, but each and every one in the opposition, including the citizens of Uganda. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mimi. With your last statement, I do not think they want to test the equipment. To me, what I'm thinking is they want to test. What Museveni does that he'll come testing a little bit, little by little bit. If I do this, is the mass going to react? If I do this, okay, they say they love Bobi, for example. If I do this, are they going to react? If they don't react and we always remain the same and we keep lamenting, or, then he will notice, okay, so I think I can always take a bold move on something. Comrades, I think we got to stand out to fight. I can see Honorable Mwadanku Nyinji, you're on. Whenever you want to say a word, one or two, feel free. You're available whenever you're available. And those requesting the mic, keep requesting in. I don't know, we will take the space as much time as you want. We want to hear from everybody. We want to hear from somebody from Kampala to know what's going on so far, the condition in which the president is in currently as we speak. I know it's a little bit dark out there. We're going to have Richard, and then next will be, I think we'll be having Muj Martin, I think. Thank you so much, Richard. Oh, yes, Comrade Biakulika, you're on. The microphone is yours. Please unmute yourself. And those that have spoken, please drop your microphone so we give opportunities to others. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. I take this opportunity to thank all of you who are here. Some of us have now transitioned to grandfathers of the struggle. For those of you who don't know us, we are here and we are still active. And when we speak, we speak for a reason, and we just don't speak. So take us by our words as we speak them. But what has happened today is highly regrettable, and I am hoping that Ndugu Chagulanyi has not been hurt beyond what we have seen. That's what happens when you are shot. It is like that. I saw the wound. It could have been any type of bullet, but he will be fine. And if it was whatever bullet it was, of course, it's very painful. Of course, the bleeding indicated that a vital or a key Vane was not hurt, which is not good, which is good. So he'll be fine. Now, about protest, there are many forms of protest, and sometimes when we speak just easily to some people, they don't understand where we are coming from. But there are many forms of protest. Protest in itself is a reaction of the people against a dictatorship. It is a movement. Protest is a movement that tends to restore democracy. When a dictatorship misbehaves, the reaction is a protest to restore democracy, or to restore, because a dictatorship usurps the people's power. So the people protest so that they get their power back. So this protest is very important, and it's very useful. Of course, we need a protest right now, because what we have in place is a dictatorship. And a dictatorship has usurped the people's powers. So the people must protest. Now, there are several forms of protest. Some are peaceful, others are in the middle, and others are violent. Now, the form of protest that you can choose, when you agree, all of you, that we need to protest, the form of protest that you should use depends on the character of the regime. This regime is not a civilian regime. It is only masquerading as a civilian regime. This is a military regime. It has been like that, and it is still like that, and it shall always be like that. Therefore, when you are choosing protest, do you know who you are protesting against, their mannerisms, and how effectively you can protest against them? Some time back, I was with a number of people here on this space, and I told them that I have reservations about the protest, the street protest. And I got a lot of reaction, and I understood it, because people do not interrogate why people say some things. You must, as I said, understand the nature and characteristic of the enemy before you engage in a protest against them. This government, because it is not civilian, it cannot agree about peaceful protest. I was telling some students some time back that the reason Kenya held a successful protest on the streets was because they have democracy. Kenya has democracy. That's why it held an effective protest on the streets, which actually was also, to a large measure, successful, because the leaders are civilian and they are responsive to those who put them in power. Did any of you here, put Museveni in power? Of course not. Even those who helped him to ascend into power, he has dealt with them. So when you are going against this man, you gotta do it tactfully. You don't just, you must interrogate the fact that many civil protests in Uganda have failed. Then you ask yourself, why have they failed? Then you try to answer that question. The people whom we lead, because most of us are leaders here. All of you who have come here, you are leaders. Even those who are working for the regime, I see you are many. You are all leaders, don't worry. But, I tell you, you must acknowledge the fact that the people on the ground are a lot intelligent. Those people are not emotional. They are strategic. Those people, we try to send them. Even me, I've been guilty of this at one time. We send them. Go. They measure. They look, they observe. They see a gun pointed at them. They say, go diaspora. Because they have seen and assessed. Therefore, as a leader, you gotta be tactful. And I go back to the forms of protest. Comrades, I want to tell you, I take this opportunity. I am not speaking 100% against you all for anything, but this is what is on my heart, and I just want to share it with you. For me, and for those who know me, who have worked with me, with whom we have worked together for a long time, you know, I am a militarist as far as protest is concerned. So those of you who were last time taking me on when I was against the street, I got tougher. Now, when the nature and characteristic of this regime is a military regime, therefore, the means of protest must be equal to the threat. It is now incumbent upon you, my young friends especially, to seriously think about military protest. When you hear people speaking of military protest, they are not crazy. They are serious analysts and strategists. Do not dismiss them. We have talked to a few people, friends, and you talk to them because you see that they are very active when it comes to the struggle, quote unquote. And then they go back home. Because you see, this kind of protest is not a one-man protest. This, whatever protest it is a collective effort of everybody. But some people, we actually shudder to try to understand where are they. Because you go to what are those things you have? Conventions. You use the occasion, you quietly recruit, quietly. And some people just go and comrades, most of you have not been alive for so long. Some of us have been alive for long, and sometimes we ask ourselves, where have I been alive up to this extent? Maybe I have a purpose, and you start searching for it. But the time for strategic, disciplined, engaging, and focused military protest is here. There is none other than that. The problem, though, is that one is not massive recruitment. It is disciplined recruitment. Very disciplined. In fact, sometimes those who need to take part, take it upon themselves to look for recruiters. Because recruiters, sometimes they don't come to find you. These are very serious causes. Very serious causes. I tell you, my young friends, these are very, very serious causes. They are not a joke. And that's why you see that when you are part of them, when you misbehave, you may even lose your life. When you go there and misbehave. Because now I see there's a tendency, a lot of young people like to put on these suits, the tight suits and everything, and drive cars and everything, and you want to hurry up and get money. And because of that is why now here, 30% of you are relating with the regime. Why? Because it's quick money. Quick money. And then you shout. Because when you shout, they give you quick money, you buy nice things, and then you get rich. When you enter the other protest, and you do that indiscipline, you die. Please take that as a serious footnote. So, only serious people may therefore consider that phase. But that phase is here. We have been in this kind of protest before, the street protest and so on. And I really salute especially those comrades who protest in Europe and America. They do a wonderful job. But we protest in America and Europe because those are democracies. We have tried things in Uganda, protests and so on. People have gotten rich out of the diaspora. And you know this. Some of you know yourselves. I see you here with the red caps, you read everything. You have gotten rich from the diaspora. How much money have we sent? How much money? Some of us are just diplomatic. But sometimes we get fed up. We have sent money. Then you hear the guy, he opened his house. He took people to eat a party, opening the house. You say, this man is opening the house from my money. Guys, stop joking. The removal of a regime starts in your mind with a very serious cause and takes you into disciplined and focused action. And most times it is a sacrifice. Great sacrifice. Why is it that some of us are not living with you so publicly and popularly like we used to do in Boston and everywhere? You think we don't want to earn the money you get there? Jobs elsewhere in America are very cheap. Boston is Massachusetts is the most advanced state in the United States. It pays gazillion money. Even if you're just joking, you end up getting 1,000 in an hour. All of us want to be there. Comrades, a lot of sacrifice is in this thing. But while you speak, if you know you just want to talk, please don't raise your hand. Don't. Some of us don't even have time. Then we keep listening to you talking nonsense. But it is good to participate in talking. That's okay. Those of you who can talk and make points eligibly, please go ahead. But others who want to practice your speaking skills, maybe look for another forum, because liberation of a country is a very serious matter. Now, I hear you, most of you are young. You don't know what you're talking. You're talking now politics 2026. What are you talking about 2026? The whole Uganda was hijacked politically by a group of people who have personal interests. They own the entire political landscape. Everything you do in that country or in that landscape must be sanctioned by them. If they don't need you to do it, you don't do it. That's why when they give you freedom, they say walk around. You walk around. When they don't give you, they shoot you. Therefore, you must start to understand that partaking in certain processes is akazanyo, which must not be perpetuated. You take part in the elections, you go, my friends, it's okay. You do your elections, but I'm telling you, it will not take you very far. Engage, enjoy yourselves, and all that. You know what you are. I know all of you when you do things. What? All you guys when you do things. You have your objectives. If you are satisfying some short time objectives, go ahead. It's okay. It's okay. Because there are so many tactics of revolution. Maybe you want some money to live to your family before you disappear. Go and engage in this circus of elections. Get some money. Go do other things. But you know that there is something more serious. So while you are doing this short-term thing, do it in consonance with a longer-term, more serious strategy. So I will not talk much, but I will say, for those of you who are serious, keep your eyes open and always interact. Always interact with the comrades. Okay, I thank you. I am busy now. You know, it is daytime here. We are still working. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Richard Martin Biakulika. I know you're one of those great people when it comes to the history, where we've come from, and the strategy where we have to go. You've always pointed us in the right direction. We appreciate and we'll keep taking on your advice as always. Doctor, do you have a second to come in? And I think after that we could have more other speakers, and then we'll see, Doctor, how long you think everybody we could keep this going. Doctor, you have a moment? Okay. Yes, I'm going to have, I think, Prince, you go ahead, and then we'll have Bobi, Liam, and then Clayton, and then Amuju Martin. Yeah, in that order. Prince. Yeah.
A very good evening and good morning to everyone where you are, or good afternoon. Actually, I'm going to pass just few words here. First of all, we have been quiet for a long time and we have been silent for a long time, but this is now too much. We all Ugandans, as long as you are at home, let's start now protesting about these guys. People are going to be killed for nothing. First of all, when we go to security operatives, all of them, I'm sure, all 80% they are not Ugandans. Because there's no way you can tell someone shoot as you are shooting your fellow Ugandans. Really? And secondly, we so quiet for the long time about this government. I'm the person who is ready to join any labor group. By the way, this one, let it be on the record. I'm one of the people who's ready to join any labor group who's ready to remove the dictator Museveni Kaguta in the power. That's it. And secondly, let's stop waiting for the election of 2026. Because I don't know, I want to ask you, where are those people started from when they arrested Bobi Wine during 2020, before we entered the election? Where did that way started? Let's start like that before. Because right now, they are arresting people in military courts with no any evidence. They are just only coming, grab you, then they take you to military court, which is not even in the constitution or in our constitution. Then think we're so quiet. I don't.
Did we lose you? Prince, I think your microphone went off.
So I was still asking.
Okay? Yep. All right, go ahead.
I was still asking, is there something else government putting in our water, government putting in our food, electricity, so that we can be silent for a long time like this? This is way too much. So Ugandans who are at home, Ugandans who are abroad, let's start from today. This happening last evening. Let it be a first now. Let it be a button for starting to protest about this government to leave our power or to leave our country. Because these guys are not Ugandans, to be honest. There is a way I saw when they are shooting Robert Chagulanyi at the scene like this. Really? So, to be honest, I'm one of the people who is ready to be ready. I'm ready with some of group which I have. We are ready to start the war to remove the dictator.
Thank you so much, Prince. This is a call to rally behind each other. This is a call for unity. This is a call, comrades, for standing together. It is time. It is not time for us to keep talking to lament. We're calling on people. I know the comrades that are here. It's not necessarily like we have to start with Kampala. We could start with all the different districts where we have everybody out there. It is time for us to rally behind one another. It is time to mobilize. Let's mobilize. It is high time Museveni has tasted the wrath of the people that desire the change in their country. It is high time. So we call upon, let this be the call for everyone to make sure that we move in that direction. Yes, I'm going to have, I think that was Clayton next and then Liam in that order.
All right. Thank you, guys. I just want to make sure before I begin to pass this message. Tomorrow, entire Canada, we have already confirmed our protest. We're hitting the road. Tomorrow,
Thank you so much.
all Ugandans in Canada, we have confirmed we are going to be on the roads. We're going to go to the Ugandan embassy. We are going to protest. So our end, we have begun. It's time. There is no more march to parliament. Museveni must go. Whether he want or not, he must go with his hooligans. I would say that is the main subject now. We have, as you have seen the news moving at CNN, Voice of Africa, Al Jazeera, so it hasn't clicked yet, and other stuff. We are not going to sit, and we are calling the international community to support this by all means. So the most important is that if I have guys who are in Canada who are joining this, please be aware that the program for tomorrow is confirmed, and we will be hitting the street. And another thing is that we call upon every Ugandan, wherever you are. It shouldn't be Kampala only. Guys, speaking calmly in this grief situation, Museveni must go. By all means. By all means. We need to do this. If it is not today, there is no tomorrow. If they keep removing icons from us, they keep taking away all the icons from us, we will end up in the worst situation. We will end up more than where we are. There's no more narratives to make. There's no more stories to tell. Let's tell stories after we have reformed the government. Let us tell stories after when we have brought back our nation. Please, it's time to hit the streets of Mbalala, Abanyakasese, Fort Potro, Ababundubujo, mwena mkorake sana yakikire, tunokutera tunagenda ha street, tuinokureka government kagenda. Abanyankole munokuza ha street abachiga mwena hii muroko mpaho, muramanya ubire bwashikire, turaza street zitu za kabare, making sure to umshira ya jenze. So please, let this not be any other day. Let us begin tomorrow. And in the moment bemutandika we mutibe munatandika, tiwali kuzikiza mpaka government evudeko. So that's my submission. Let us all kunga Uganda kunga. All of us. Kunga. I know we are going to lose a lot, but if we don't do this, no one is going to do for us. It's time.
It's time. And as you kunga for everybody in Canada and back home, we kunga everybody in Massachusetts. Friday, we are on. We've been guaranteed in Massachusetts. So everybody in Boston area, if you're on this call, please be ready. Friday, we're all set. And let the other all parts in the world do the same. Comrades, it is high time. It is high time. Let it happen international-wide. Let it happen home in all the different regions. Let us wake up. Let us wake up this beat that has been down. We can do this. I believe we can do this. Thank you so much, Martin. I'm going to have Bob, Liam, then Muju Martin, and then I think Joyce will be next. Thank you in that order. Yes, Bob.
Yes, I thank you, brother, for the opportunity. Greetings to you, dear brothers and sisters present here. The situation back at home, it's kind of tense. Brother, as you observe all these unfoldment of political events, well motivated, there is no coincidence, that we see before our own eyes. Dear brothers and sisters, let us pray to the Most High to give us more strength. Obama wrote in his book, The Promised Land, that the uncertainties of political event and the necessity for resilience. So brothers and sisters, we are being confronted by a very, very sophisticated situation. But we all know that our position is to restore human dignity in Uganda. When you observe the footage which is sitting on the internet, the way they attacked Uganda's generational vision bearer, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the way they attacked him recklessly, given the position he occupied. Brothers and sisters, we are being tried. But we all have to ask a critical question. What is the causation of all this? Brothers and sisters, none of us here is devoid of the fact that there is a motivation and a well-concerted effort to eliminate our leaders. Firstly, because those who are being threatened by their presence in the political arena are determined to do away with them, come what may. So, brothers and sisters, according to the information we have received credibly from ASP Willie Asimwe, it indicates that Mr. Matthias Mpuga, he is the one fueling all of this. Dear brothers and sisters, it is by the grace of the Most High that the information come before the masses and we are to act upon it. Mathias Mpuga made a call to Moses Kainerugaba asking why didn't they shoot to kill His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. And the basis of all this is that His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu and Joel Semyon should not go to the United Kingdom. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Brothers and sisters, these things are real. They are proposing that that man who has been identified, the shooter, right now, he is scheduled to be taken out of the country on Mathias Mpuga's proposal. Dear brothers and sisters, we are sharing information internationally because we are stripped naked. We have no dignity. His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, a man who speaks in the broad daylight candidly, each and everything, with a vision of restoration of human dignity, that people should be awarded a ministerial position and all sorts of government portfolios on a meritorious basis. Now, the conventional politician felt that no, there must be classes, and they are determined to assassinate him using Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Museveni's plan. Mr. Museveni, leave our leader. Dear brothers and sisters, it is being informed to us that Mr. Museveni has issued a creed that the entire Nsambia hospital should be cordoned off and his appointed doctors must take charge. So fellow Ugandans, this is a clarion call of which we must heed and act accordingly immediately. There is no way we have to sleep. No, brothers and sisters, Uganda, it is under siege. The source of light that have brought all of us to the front to confront the leaders who have perpetuated Museveni's subjugation over the people of Uganda. These are same leaders who are behind all the moves to assassinate our leaders.
Paul,
Brothers and sisters.
Can you hear me? Yes. Sorry to cut you short. Give me 1 minute. Once you're done, we're gonna have Muj Martin, and then from there we shall have, in that order, we shall have John the something, then we shall have Clever Ivans, and then as you're dropping, we'll be allowing in other people to be able to speak. So in that order, once you're done, I might be quiet because I'm trying to do something here, but let's go through that order.
Mr. Marvin,
Dr.
Mr. Marvin, thank you. I've been a bit away tied up with some things, but I thank you so much for moderating the session. I know we've been on here for over 4 hours plus. I thank everyone for the contributions that you have made towards this discussion. As you hear, there's a lot of diverse views and opinions on what's going on back home. But of course, our main purpose of being here is to make sure that we continue to shine a light on the activities going on in our country and strategize on the way forward. I always try to encourage our brothers and sisters in the struggle is, for us to be credible individuals in our advocacy in the work we do. It's very important that when we discuss issues or we highlight certain points or we make certain allegations, it's always good to have evidence on certain issues so that we are credible ambassadors, so that we're credible advocates for the change that we're talking about. I make that as a general statement just for members who make statements on such platforms to make sure that the work we do is honorable, and the work we do can rally fellow Ugandans to see that we are credible messengers, and the change we are talking about is the change that Ugandans can all rally about. I thank everyone for your contributions. We're going to do our best to take a few more submissions. I request that you keep your submissions very brief to allow other members to say a word or two. We can probably go on for another 25-30 minutes or so, and then we are going to wrap up this session. But overall, I thank everyone for turning up. Today is a very sad day for our country, and it's a combination of many sad episodes that we have been through. As a diaspora, we keep our eyes open and do whatever we can on our side of the pond to make sure that we can impact what's going on in Uganda, whether it's through demonstrations like our comrades in Canada are doing tomorrow and our friends in UK always do, and we are planning to do in Washington, D.C., and of course, we are heading to the UN General Assembly in a few weeks in New York. We're going to continue doing those demonstrations, whether it means knocking on doors of the State Department, of Congress, World Bank, IMF, European Union. Let's continue knocking on those doors as well, because knowingly or not, many of those individuals enable the Museveni regime to have the financial muscle they have, to have the ammunitions that they have, to continue oppressing our people. So we must have an approach which supports all intervention, whether it's on the streets. That pressure campaign is important, whether it's in the boardrooms, That campaign is also important because most of the time those decisions are made in those boardrooms, and we must have a presence in those boardrooms as well from the diaspora side of things. And when it comes to Uganda, we also support our activists who are doing important work. And I hear a lot of diverse views on how you can achieve change. Our president has always preached a peaceful pathway to delivering change in Uganda. And the reason why most people believe that peaceful transition or civilian efforts towards power are more significant, because most time people who come with a gun rule by the gun. And that's kind of the challenge we have in history. You see what's going on in West Africa and some of the other countries when you have military coups. So most of those people who come by the gun, they usually rule by the gun. And most of the time, you don't get the change that you seek. And it's possible. People have talked about us having 45 million Ugandans. So 45 million Ugandans can stand up against the regime. It doesn't matter how many guns they have. If we are committed to the cause, this can be done peacefully. And that's the message I will emphasize. Peacefully is the message President Kyagulanyi has emphasized. Peacefully. And I know there's always been temptation of the regime to try to make the narrative appear that NUP is a military operation. We see what they're doing, arresting people, suggesting they have military uniform in their houses. That's not by coincidence. It's not a mistake. They are trying to frame this argument that the message of President Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi is a message of military uprising. We are a peaceful movement. We believe in peaceful power transition. And that's the message which we are running on as a movement, as a people power movement, because we believe as we rally together as Ugandans, as people, we can take on the regime. So the challenge we have had so far is that we haven't been able to stand together as Ugandans, as one voice. By standing up against the regime, it doesn't matter how many guns they have. We have seen many governments go down which had even more guns than Museveni, because the people were able to rise up. Preaching. Marvin, can you still hear me? I know somebody was calling me. Marvin,
Yes,
am I audible?
yes, I can hear you, Doctor.
Yes. So that's the message we want to keep preaching from our perspective as a diaspora. Of course, it's okay to have a discussion and a debate. There are people who think otherwise. It's fair to have those conversations, but it's also important for us to always remember what our movement is about. It's a peaceful transition that we want. It's a peaceful movement. So I'll allow a few speakers. Marvin, if you want to take a short break, I understand you have to head somewhere. I'll call on a few more people to submit, and then we can wrap this up. Mr. Joe, if you want to go ahead.
Can I finalize my submission and a little bit to contextualize what you termed as allegations, please, with your indulgence? Can I go ahead?
My statement was a general statement to everyone making submissions that for us to be credible ambassadors, it's important when we make statements, we qualify them with sufficient evidence. Now, I'm saying that what you're saying doesn't have, or anyone else, I wasn't particularly referring to you, but just a general statement, because a lot of things have been said on this platform. I just want to make sure that as activists, as people who believe in change, whatever we say is qualified and ideally evidence provided. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. So you mentioned about being, good ambassadors of the revolutionary, but prior to this, disturbing incident, our young lady who protested, knew the protest. They came out and expressed their grievances towards the brutality of the regime. That shows that that sense of decorum has failed the Ugandans to the extent that the mothers of the country have decided, having realized that there is nothing to conceal, there is nothing that constitutes their self-worthy of being covered in garments, which we have discovered that they are just garments of false opinion, because men in suit and tie who articulate within the guides of decorum have failed the nation, the people whom they regard as gullible. You understand? So when we come and start pointing out individuals explicitly, that means that decorum has led the country into the conundrum we're in right now, that a leader can be shot at, and a man comes with information, the cause of the effect. So decorum should not bar people to speak candidly, pointing fingers. Our revolutionary is not militaristic. There is no one who is inciting people to wield guns. For the inception of it, it has been peacefully through means of constitutionalism. So we are saying we are mobilizing people right away to take on the mantle, because Museveni has been tossing stones. Now, the bees are responding. Brothers and sisters in Uganda, this is the strategy we have. Let us protect our leader. The security guard of our leader must be there to him. There is a concerted effort to disable the ability of our leader through means because they have what it takes. So brothers and sisters, let us keep our eyes open. Let us mobilize each other. This is a sparking point we have been waiting for. Let us act appropriately. Let us be vigilant because Museveni's operative are within us. They are trying to lure us into deadly moves. For far too long, he has been trying to trap us into a military confrontation to get a justification to slaying innocent Ugandans. So we are not militaristic in all our strategies. We are still marching to the parliament. We are protecting our president, and we are demanding Museveni to restore the dignity of the people of the Republic of Uganda. On the serious note, all the information we receive, it is credible, it is justifiable, given the fact that there is no system which is functional on which we can rely that justice shall be rendered. We are reminded by the writer Hussein Barack Obama that in a dictatorship, the judiciary has no capacity to render justice in the favor of the enslaved people. This is the situation we are in right now. It is proposed that the shooter of Uganda's vision, he is being proposed to be thrown out of the country. You can see they have a resource. They deploy people who have no attachment.
Yeah, apologies, members. We lost the previous space, so we'll just try to get a few members on so that we can wrap up the discussion we had for the last 4 hours. But those were on the previous space. We lost connection on the previous space. We had been on for 4.5 hours, but we'll try to see if we can get a few members on, and then we can wrap up the discussion we had for the last 4 hours. So just bear with us. We shall be resuming shortly.
Yeah, sorry, comrades. I think the previous space ended. So let's keep sharing once again. Let's keep inviting in other people as we were before. Keep inviting in others. Please share on your different platforms. Share on your different pages, WhatsApp pages, wherever you got the link before. Just keep sharing so that we can have our people back. We had great submissions, but because the space was ended by the space itself, we encourage that we keep inviting in others. Thank you so much.
Yes, greetings everyone who was on our space for the last few hours. I thank you, comrades, for all your submissions and all your ideas, suggestions. I appreciate some of the diaspora chapters that are going to be conducting some protests as well as some demonstrations. And of course, the teams which are engaging in advocacy. We always appreciate our brothers and sisters in Uganda, the foot soldiers, those who are on the ground doing the hard work in such conditions. And of course, everyone who is active on social media and all the other platforms, thank you for all the work that you are doing. Many of you shared some really good suggestions along the way. Those are all taken to mind. If you still have something you want to say, I know there were a few people who wanted to speak. Hopefully we can get some of them back on to share a word or two before we wrap up today. But overall, thank you everyone for your contributions and for caring about your country, for loving your country, for standing up for what is right. That's something which we cannot take for granted. But hopefully we can get a few people on and then we can resume our discussion. Marvin, can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor, I can hear you loud
Okay.
and clear.
Yes. So if there are any members who have something to say, you can please request for the microphone so that we can take all your views and opinions. I know we cut off while if you wanted to submit, so we just wanted to resume the space for just maybe a little longer, and then we can close for the day. So please feel free to request a microphone. Please feel free to share the link with other members so we can complete the discussion that we're having today. of course, about the events that were happening in Uganda, and how we move forward as a struggle under such conditions. Thank you, everyone. So, Mr. John, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Kauma. Comrade Marvin, thank you. And to the entire Ugandans, patriotic Ugandans who have been on this triad, on this X for all this period of time. I would love to speak in a local language, which I love so much, and that's Uganda. To those that it will offend, I really apologize for that. I understand X is for those who speak English so much, but I feel free to speak in my language or to mix everything up. Now, my submission will base on two people. One is Dr. Stella Nyanzi, when she was giving her presentation, then Richard, presentation in HR one day. When we look at these two people, Stella Nyanzi made a very clear statement. Nagamati, if this dictatorial government raises up and does something like what it has done today, what do we need? We need something that is abrupt. Out there and then. Then Richard Naja Nagamba, we are dealing with a government, a militaristic. Then on that side of militaristic as a point of view, the most important thing in here is that botunulira experience y'amagye n'engeri y'abamagye n'abapolisi gye bakolamu ebintu byabwe. Then tulina okumakinga sure nti omulabe waffe Museveni tumulumba in all aspects, all ewatali emu ewatali bbiri. Nti nga bw'oyogedde Dr. Kauma in the other previous one evuddeko ogambye nti ogeze n'otugamba nti we need peaceful demonstration, which is very fine kubanga that is what our president says. Naye mulimu ebintu ebimu nga olina okutwala ku idea ya Richard at the same time n'otwala ku idea ya Dr. Stella Nyanzi. Otya nti bwe tuba tugenda kusalawo tugambe nti tugakola peaceful demonstration, we can't look at only peaceful demonstrations zokka nti zigenda okubanga zikolebwa. Kati mu kaseera nga kano tubadde twetaaga ekintu ekiyitibwa organic revolutionary uprising. Eyo teba peaceful. Lwaki bakute president government eringa etuteekateeka okuwandika rest in peace, and this is exactly what we shall be doing. Nti president bamukutte olwokuba twagala peaceful demonstration, tujja kwekanga abe Uganda balina kumala kusaba, abe mu America tumala okusaba kati tuli balwa kutaano, abe Canada bamaze okusaba bancha, abe Bungereza bagenda kusaba. Kwegamba peaceful, there is a time when we just need to understand yani gwe tulwana naye. Netumanya nti kati bwe kibanga kino kyekituguddeko mu kaseera nga kano tugenda kola tutya. And I've always been telling people bentera okwogera nabo naye mbagamba nti you know what, let us have people back home. Chapters zaffe zituorganizing zibereyo n'akafeche nga bwe tuba ne chapter yaffe ya Boston erinayo group eyaayo ng'eyaayo gyegamba nti now you guys go tugende kati tulumbe president alumbiddwa. But if we are still saying peaceful demonstration nga president bamukakanyeko ne bamukuba kalibe jinja kakabe oba tiyaga scanster kakabe nga bamukubye kiki oba assassin n'ekito kirala kyonna, naye nga there is that attack. Let us not just be ready okugamba Uganda to rest in peace, but let us organize demonstrations. Let it be a lesson to us that we must be ready kulunako olubinga luzze kubanga tuli mu lutalo. We must be ready olunaku olubinga lukoze eki nga luzze. Mu kaseera nga kano chapters zonna ze tulina ziri asatu plus zali badde buli emu inayo group yayo ng'etandise tekirima biri kyayogeddeko n'agamba ab'e Masaka ab'e Kampala ab'Empigi abawa, but who is going to mobilize them? Kubanga ekibiina tekisobola kikola naye ate ffe abali mu diaspora tusobola kikola. Waliwo omuvubuka ow'e Canada abadde ayogera n'agamba ab'e Teso abeewa abawa. Omuvubuka oyo bw'obulaba ati essaawa eno bw'otugamba nti John bantu ki b'osobola okugana bali bajja ku kkubo, nja kugamba nti nkwata mpola mpa just hours bagenda kuba bakutuuseeko. Lwaki? Kubanga nze I'm looking at demonstrations, but at the same time I'm looking at ways of how we can attack this guy. Tetusobola kubanga buli kimu tugenda kozesa peaceful demonstration ekola bulungi naye bannayuganda kibateeka mu mutima it can take some time. Naye singa buli muntu yenna oba chapters abantu ab'enjawulo babayo n'abantu babe beesiga nti kamukaseera kano mwategedde just Dr. Kauma akulira diaspora n'agamba bugambi bannange buli muntu ayita abantu be kubanga abamanyi that preparation gyeri ogenda okulaba nga abantu bazze tebeetaaga kumala kugira nti abo bwenyi bagenza omutusambuliro nga Uganda ekutta omuliro. That is what we want, and if people are to die tebagenda kufa mu bungi. Naye buli lwe tunateekangawo let us organize for demonstrations, let us organize this nga permission tumala kugijja kubali we are dealing with a dictator, we are dealing with a militaristic government, meaning our approaches must be versatile. Tezisobola kutunula in only one direction. Ebyokusoma n'obuyivu bwaffe birungi, tusobola kutumira principles, policies and everything, but sometimes omuntu ennumba gy'akulumbamu asobola either okujjamu oba okulekamu. So I think kino kibeere ekyokuyiga as we're going to demonstrate. Naye kiri Uganda si kyali badde kiriyo. Let us sit ng'abali mu diaspora we make layouts on how best we can do ne wano mu diaspora amaanyi gajja kudda tegabirega amaanyi n'okusinga bwe gaali gabadde kubanga we are lay people, we are patriotic people, tetutunuulira principles and policies. Patriotic people, we are looking at what we want to see. Ate ffe tusinga obungi okusinga bali abatali bantu balala. So I advocate tusinga tutunuulira what Dr. Stella Nyanzi kyayogedde n'otunuulira ne Richard kyayogedde, then you know what Dr. Kawuma kyayogera nti bwe tubigatta byonna awamu we become versatile and this government can come to an end. Ensonga yo gamba 2026 elections twalibadde kati saawa eno nga gwe mumwa guli mu diaspora. No 2026, no presidential elections, no nothing. Ebyo nayo tubigala kati ne tumanya nti kati tuli mu lutalo oluli serious. Naye tubyogerako ne tubikomya. Buli lwe tunagenda mu ngeri ey'abayivu, buli lwe tukyagala ekya elections, buli lwe tukyagala ne tutakifaako kirwanyisa. Ye oli kyayagala kubanga tuba tugenze mu mazina ge. Nze I beg nti newankubadde okulonda kuyinza okutusangayo. Naye tusooke tuteekewo kati tulwane kati tulabe kanti we make it by 2025. Which ways ng'ogyeko ze njogedde endala ze tuyinza okukozesa okulaba nti twejjako omusajja ono. Otherwise, we are being trained to write rest in peace in capital letters. I beg to submit that.
Thank you, Mr. John, for your submission. That's a really great thoughts. Mr. Hope empowers. Hope empowers. Can you please unmute and make your submission? Hope. Marvin, can you hear me?
Yes, tukuwulira bulungi doctor, tukuwulira.
Kale, madenga mtemumpulira. Hope. Hope, can you unmute your line and make your submission if you're available? If there's anyone else who wants to make a submission, please request a microphone. Bane Mutsonyiwe, we lost connection. I think space yabade rudeweri. I know there were many people who still wanted to speak. That's why we opened this up again to see if members have any other suggestions to make or just to participate, to be part of the conversation. So if there's anyone else who has a submission to make, please just request the microphone and then we'll give you the ability to speak. Let's see. I see 2 requests. Mr. Mugeni, you can go ahead.
In 2 spaces, the protest space on the other side has just opened, but these are the submissions I made on the other side. That let's have action-packed activities for this, because we have spoken. Dr. Kamo, we have spoken. We speak and talk almost every Saturday. We are here for Uganda is bleeding. These things must be stopped. Oboth, who is from my district, who has just celebrated being a minister of defense, being appointed a minister of defense, had Muhoz and the so-called Balams in Tororo. You saw the crowd. There was no fracas. Now, if Bobi Wine has gone to celebrate a similar celebration, celebrating education, it cannot be militarized. These things must be stopped. And it's going to take us Ugandans to stop this. Dr. Kamo, for me, I speak about stopping this. Every time I speak, I've been asking, but which district, which people would drone speak? Because a drone cannot cross my district. Because it cannot. And we stopped it long time ago. So we just can't have this continuing in this country of ours. I mean, you people, you saw Muhoz in Tororo. Saw the crowd. In fact, I had just done a video condemning both. I did a video in Japan yesterday. I did a video in English. I mean, both. You are a minister and we regard you as some of the most educated people in Tororo. Your pretense that you are celebrating your appointment is a disgrace to us people of Tororo. Those fellas you have collected, I call them chicken fleas. I told them in Padola. Can I say that we can only be happy that we have received the t-shirts to celebrate for Christmas? Because those are the clothes you have in Tororo. We have cement. We have iron sheets coming from Tororo. And you can't beat Tororo in having grass, mud, thatched house, and mud and water houses. You have lowered the minds of people of Tororo to the level, I think I call it the grass thatched mind and water brains. Muhoz cannot be brought to Tororo by you who are educated. Whereas you can pretend that you're celebrating your appointment. But watch out. So, that was celebration in Tororo. It didn't have incidents. Celebration in Kampala. Somebody almost loses his life. So we need to stop this. It must be stopped by us. Nobody else will stop it. Let's mobilize. Region to region. I came here and told you that I'm talking to Busia. We have already started speaking like what can we do? So we just need a war cry from all corners. The protest, we had an active protest. By the way, when was shot, we were on an active protest. And we stopped. Now, what's the silver lining? The protest continues, becomes bigger. Those girls, by the way, when we were planning for Gaja, who were in that meeting, who were following. It was to restart the protest that was destroyed by the elites. By the way, this is what we've been saying. Now, Bobi Wine shooting creates a national call. It creates a national call. If they can attempt Bobi Wine, how safe am I? How safe is any of us? Some of us want to go home, but if you are not to go home because these guys will pick you. But you need to make sure picking me is risky. It's going to depend on how we respond to Bobi Wine's assassination attempt. Thank you, Doctor. Was I speaking alone?
No, we are listening. We are listening.
I'm done with my short submission.